Hey guys, Kakarot197 again. This time with a review of the 144 scale high-grade Build Divers Gym 3 Beam-Master from the Gundam Build Divers series. As the name indicates, this is a remold of the Gym 3. However, it's the good kind of remold. We have an amazing base model, the Gym 3, and this model kit even improves upon it in certain areas. The one thing that immediately stuck out to me is the side armor here, where we have the thrusters. These are separately molded, as opposed to the original Gym 3, which had the thruster as just one solid piece. So this is a very good start for a remold. Now let's have a look at the stickers that are used for this thing. Obviously we have this one on top, then we have the usual ones for the front camera, back camera. There's also an extra one that you can use if you want for the secondary main camera, or you can just leave it like that because hey, it's already got a nice clear green piece. One sticker I cut out myself is for the inside, where you have like some shiny some shiny sticker sheet left. If you put that on the inside, you get a much nicer, shinier visor. We also get a sticker for the sensor there. Then two stickers that you're supposed to use, but that I didn't feel like using, are these two, which are supposed to go onto these white pieces. Now, for some reason, they're supposed to be gray. We have a gray runner for the Gym 3 Beam-Master, but they weren't on there. And I think we all know how great these would have turned out if I used these stickers, so I just decided not to use them. And the other stickers include two gray ones for the bottom of the legs and two gray ones that go onto the buster binders. And then finally, for our base model kit, we also have two gray stickers that wrap around the neck. Now our Gym 3 is currently looking a little bit barren, but that's definitely going to get a lot better once we get to the accessories. For now, let's have a look at the articulation. Head goes a little bit up, a little bit down, rotates around all the way, forwards and backwards moving, and just be careful that you don't take off his mohawk because it's a bit loose on there. The arms hinge forward with an extra ball joint, backwards, rotate around in that ball joint, and of course rotate around all the way as well. Go up nicely, especially with the help of that ball joint, rotate around below the shoulder, bend at the elbow. Two joints rather nicely, not all the way up, but still good enough. Hands are on ball joints as always, rotate around, wiggle around, and do everything a ball joint does. Waist is also on a ball joint, so rotates around, and if you extend it ever so slightly, you can just get that little bit of extra movement out of it. Or you get fantastic explosive action because hey, we're dealing with a gym. On the backpack, these things are on ball joints, so his sensor antenna can also wiggle around. And this, well, if you use a screwdriver, you can also turn that around for whatever reason. Front skirts, as always, molded together but can be separated and are on ball joints. The legs go forwards about that far, backwards until hit the back skirt. We'll go out really nicely, and we'll also rotate around. They also have some swivel down here, and there's a hole conveniently placed for an action base too. Then bend at the knee at two joints for a little bit over 90 degrees. Then the feet have been given slightly more articulation. We have a hinge at the top where they removed a little bit from there, so now it hinges forward just that little bit more. I've got the ball joint in there, and then the extra flip-flop joint for some really nice forwards movement. Backwards about that far, and it will of course wiggle around, turn around, and do everything a ball joint does. And the ankle guard moves up and down. So, unsurprisingly for the Gym 3, the articulation is really good and is absolutely up there with any modern high grade. So now let's see how much more awesome this thing gets once we put on some accessories. Let's just start off small, some missile pods, and here we also get the choice between the 4 large missiles, or if you use a different front, you can have the micropod. Just slide these on there. And now on mine, you will see that they have clear, nice metallic green stickers. Now these are not present on the sticker sheet, but as you can see, you have a lot of green space on the sticker sheet left. So feel free to cut that out yourself, and then you can have Some nice missile pods with nice sensors on them. And our Gym 3 is already starting to look slightly more beefy. Some other quick accessories are borrowed from the original Gym 3. Now, instead of going on to the side skirts, these click onto a new hard point on the side of the legs. I actually really look forward to buying like additional... Stay on there. And I'm actually really looking forward to like buying from the built weapons like additional missile pods just to see how they look on those legs. But there's still more to hook up to our Gym 3, these buster binders onto the handheld weapons, and of course we get the trusty beam rifle with one trigger finger hand, and the beam rifle slots into the trigger finger hand so that thing isn't going anywhere. Also, as is usual with this beam rifle, we do have a movable stock so that he can hold on to it with both hands. Though our Gym 3 Beammaster is getting slightly busy, so yeah, you might want to remove some of his additional weaponry if you're gonna do that. Or you can simply forget about that beam rifle and look at the Changeling Rifle. Now this is the signature weapon for our Gym 3 Beammaster. It has a movable handle at the bottom, and now this can serve either as its own handheld weapon, or it can hook up to the buster binders. And I swear that I've seen this in Ideon. But then again, Ideon is essentially just a very big and very, very, very powerful gym. Now, as awesome as that Ideon reference was, I can't help but prefer this more dynamic pose. And of course, our Beammaster needs some close-ranged beam weapons as well. For that, we get two beam sabers. Also, these do not store on the model kit itself. They should store into the knees, but of course, being high grade, that would have been way too finicky. And this thing being a remold of the Gym 3, we also get an entire Gym 3 as well, albeit a slightly orange one. And this is the kind of remold I love. Not only are we getting an awesome new kit, we can also build the old kit in the new color scheme, and above that, we can also make our own custom out of all of these parts we can choose from. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Absolutely. At 1,800 yen, this thing is only 300 yens more expensive than the standard Gym 3. And with all of the extra stuff that you're getting, that's an absolute steal. This kit is based on the already amazing Gym 3. It adds stuff that is equally awesome, making this thing an overall fantastic deal. Great articulation, great accessories, great looks. It is great across the board. Sure, it's got a few minor annoyances, but everything else more than makes up for it. Oh, and probably what I find the most amazing about this thing is that there's actually an add-on kit for even more weapons. So one would expect that when you have a base kit that Bandai is selling an option kit for with extra weapons, that this thing wouldn't really come with a lot of accessories. Well, I was positively surprised by just the sheer amount of stuff in this kit alone. It does not feel like anything is missing, like they took something out just to entice you that little bit more to buy the option set. No, this thing feels complete, and I highly recommend you to go out and buy it right now. Compared to all the other top tier gyms, this thing definitely sits amongst their ranks. Previously, the K9 was one of my favorite gyms of all time for exactly this reason. Fantastic base kit with really great additions, and while the K9 still is my favorite, partially because, well, it's a sniper and just that color scheme, oh my god, but this thing is, objectively speaking, pretty much equally as amazing. Then for size comparisons, here he is next to the Phase Shift Down Duel and the Jagan General Revel type, who also has a little bit of orange in it. And that's everything I have at the moment to do size comparisons, so I'm gonna end it here, buy this thing, and see you all next time.